Hello there, gamers. It is a wonderful day today. It's marvelous seeing you guys. Hope everybody's doing great. It is still Aura flipping whatever the frick mayor, and that means that Slayers, specifically Rev Slayers, are flipping crazy. I'm hearing that it's a guaranteed Warden's Heart every 2 hours, which is insane. Because, like, I don't know how much these are. I have not looked at these in a while. I imagine that they're down bad. I should probably pull up the price history to look at, what's happened since Aura has started, because I know that a lot of the Giga Chads are doing Rev Slayer right now. So what is this? 94. Okay, that is bad. Oh my god, those used to be so much more. RNG meter, oh my gosh. I just wonder, right, if the devs like look at the price history of every single RNG in the game and they're like, perfect, we've collapsed everything 80%. Like is this like the goal? Like, are they satisfied that every RNG is like heading to zero? It's just that is like so dysfunctional for the game. Like, you don't want every flipping rare item to be worth nothing. That is not good for the game. That is not good for the game at all. Like, you want rare items to have a stable value. Like, every single month when you look at every rare item in the game, it is considerably lower than it was the previous month. I guess you could say that, like, okay, it's stable in the sense that it's been at this price before. Every single trend is just down. Like, look at this drop off. We are approaching the lowest price that it's been in a very, very, very long time, right? Last time it was at this price was in 2022. I really don't think that that's a good thing. Like, I feel like I look at this and it's like, that looks dysfunctional right there. It was stable around like 900 and now we've dropped 50%. This is, I do not think that's good for the video game whatsoever. That scares me so much, because like that is how you destroy a massive multiplayer game, by running the value of everything to zero. Also, is another thing that I wanted to talk about. I was messaged on Discord by an individual and he says, swavy, I have access to a Bazaar macro terminal. So essentially, Bazaar macroing has reached like a crazy level of sophistication when compared to the original videos that I was making about super compactor macros. Right before, Bazaar macroing back in the old days meant that you went over to the NPC that used to be positioned about here and you spam bought cobblestone using a macro for flipping days on end, and then you would go over to the Bazaar, which used to be positioned right about here, and then you would sell those super compactors. Or even before the Bazaar, you'd sell them on the auction house, which was positioned about here. This was back the super compactor mysteries videos that I released, and that was like really low levels of macro sophistication, right? That's basically, people just made an auto clicker essentially to buy cobblestone from NPC, and that was the extent of it. They were doing it on one account, and it wasn't very crazy. Now the levels of sophistication are crazy because it's reached a state where players have made it so sophisticated that it's now headless browser or headless game instances. So they're running dozens of accounts through like terminal lines essentially, where they're just automating the process from start to finish, like essentially Bazaar flipping. It doesn't have anything to do with super compactors anymore, or I guess it might if the margins are good on Bazaar flipping. And I have a bunch of screenshots from one of these systems that exists. Now, I've gone through and I've obfuscated every username, every bit of branding. I've hid everything so that people in the video can't actually like figure out the names of the people doing it, and they can't figure out, what the actual client is itself. And the numbers are astonishing, like the amount of coins that these accounts are making just from the little bit of glimpse that I can see in these screenshots. Let me show them right now. So this right here is, as I understand it, like the starting terminal where you can see what your accounts are currently flipping. So, like they have a buy order for 4 glossy gemstones, worth that amount of coins. And then it's going to automatically flip those once that buy order fills, multiplied across all these other items that it's automatically flipping. So I assume that the system probably finds stuff that has good margins and then will automatically buy and automatically sell it without any, human intervention. So that's what the orders tab would look like with this system. This is all like done through a browser. Like this, it has nothing to even do with the game anymore. Like they can't even see the accounts because it's just all automatically moving around on the server. And then this is, like they can access the chat to see what it's currently doing. Like the automated flips, like it's not the user interacting with the Bazaar. It's this entire system, interacting with the Bazaar, and it's automatically processing all the flips multiplied by God knows how many accounts. So, this is what this looks looks like. And then the stats page shows your own personal stats, which is this menu right here. And then the control shows like the, you know, filters and stuff like that, items that you don't want it to flip or do want it to flip, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And this is just like, you know, some of the reviews, people saying, you know, like 15 mil an hour, 91 mil overnight, 12 mil an hour, 2.23 billion off of, you know, however long he had it running for with God knows how many accounts. And then like, you know, like a daily leaderboard so they can track like who's making, you know, like right, since this session started, you know, 2 days ago, this guy right here sitting at number one's made 1.2 billion coins profit, all the accounts running 5.3 billion in 2 days. So these numbers are flipping crazy. This, right, based on this screenshot up here in the corner, right, this guy's been running it for 5 hours. His profit's 257 million, 45 million an hour with it just running in the background. Like the, you know, the level of sophistication that these have gotten to now almost even like makes it tricky to put it into videos, because it's like, you know, before it was let's go to the guy's island and interrogate him about suspicious Bazaar orders, right? You know, that's what the super compactor mystery videos were. Now it's like you can't even see the accounts. They're flipping invisible. Technically I could find the usernames and I could go to their islands, but their, you know, their islands are gonna be closed, profiles gonna be disabled, and they're not gonna be there to talk to you because they're 100% headless accounts where there's not even somebody interacting with it anymore. It's just sitting on an island trading on the Bazaar. Like, I'd imagine that the size of the coins that they're generating, the total numbers are just probably so bizarre. If one single player can print 1.2 billion coins, you know, within 2 days of running, I think 2 accounts, right? Like, I think the guy told me that this dude in number one made 1.2 billion over 2 days with only 2 accounts. That's ridiculous. I'd like to think that the devs are doing, you know, what they can to prevent stuff like this, but, you know, then people are sitting there trying to reverse engineer it constantly every single time they release a new update. But I thought this was, you know, absolutely fascinating. I've never seen anything like this before. The sophistication has gotten so advanced with these macro clients. Like, this is ridiculous that they're, you know, building out entire panels and it's all headless. And these Mozasekas, man, it's graduated to a whole new level than it used to be. Bazaar macros are the top of the staff team. They aren't adding any coins to the economy. Technically, the Bazaar macros make it so that the margins on the Bazaar are tighter, which is then you know, technically better, you know, for the average player. The duping is really the issue. So yeah, you know, you make a fair point that Bazaar macroing, of all of the cheats that exist on this video game, is probably on the lower part of the list of like actually hurting the game, because the more people that are macroing, you know, buy and sells on flipping red gifts means that the margin on red gifts gets tighter and tighter and tighter, which is then better for players, because the more people macroing this means more buys and more sells, which means that the buy and sell will increasingly become closer and closer and closer together. If items have huge spreads, it means that players, when they insta-buy stuff, they overpay massively. Duping is really, really the nasty one. Duping like can actually destroy the game. Bazaar macroing, you know, it's like, it definitely shouldn't be allowed, but it's not really hurting the game in the same way that duping can. The price layer is so free with Aura. Oh, dang, we should do that for the flipping burgers. Bro, are those tickets? I sold these for like 10 mil. I'm cooked. How many of those did I have to buy? It gives double right now, right? It gives 7K and it's 18K, and I need how many more? That's almost a burger. Oh, because it's double. Oh, so it's literally not bad at all. I need 4 more, and I have enough XP right now for 1.5. I probably need like 4 more feathers or something like that. Also, a fun fact, I've still literally never done a tier 5 before. Dead! Oh my gosh, no way I get a burger. I'm crazy. I'll try tier 5. No shot. I'm not doing flipping tier 5. The 1 tier 5 for the XP took me 4 hours. It's actually so flipping dumb. Like, I gave it many hours trying to do it, and I was like, this is so cringe. I'm not flipping doing this anymore. The problem was that we tried to do it pre-solvers, and before the solver was in the game, there's a thing that's really easy to miss. I forget what it's called. The Bloodicker killed me every single time when we were trying to do carries. No second pillar at all. It didn't even spawn. Another burger. I'm crazy. So glad I waited for flipping Anki feathers to be in the game for this, so that you could just pay to win it. And you don't actually have to get 5 flipping burgers. Screw that. And done. Never doing the stupid slayer again. Actually, maybe for 1 carry. You have 5 grubber snacks. Oh my goodness. No deaths either. So I'm flipping crazy. Yikes. How much is a primordial belt right now? Yeah, okay. I don't really have a choice. I have to buy this. Then I have to do all the stuff. So we're going to throw menacing on this. Oh, wait, no, do you put bloodshot on this? Bloodshot on this? Yeah. Oh my God, it's 57 mil. What? Holy. Wait. Is it? That's like, is expensive. I got to museum it too, because I definitely never did that. You've already donated that item? It's like, what? What the? I already had this, and I just put the reforge on it too. Oh my goodness. When did I buy that? That'll sell for sure. Okay, now literally let's do it again. Because apparently I bought that. I totally forgot that I bought it. Bro, can we have a flipping equipment wardrobe? Like, what is this, man? This is so cringe. Now, what kind of sucks is that my flipping thing is only got Ultimate Wise on it, but I bet the gangsters, they probably got flipping Chimera, bruh. And this thing is just so sad looking. My equipment set, all I'm menacing, aside from the Primordial, Bloodshot, Full, Crimson. I have to figure out what pet. It's probably pretty self-explanatory. When you start a Slayer quest, take out Ghoul, right? It's got to be correct. And damage test 3.2. Am I crazy? 3 mil. How do we feel about 39 kills? Oh, I'm crazy. 1, 2 hits. Kind of close to rev trait. You don't do that anymore, though. It's all solo. Hearts are 90 mil. It's only 30 mil an hour. Yeah, hearts are cooked, man. They've RNG metered everything like crazy. Every flipping patch notes they put out, they basically say we're cutting the price of every RNG meter or every RNG in the game by half. Keep the hearts out. Yeah, but stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes those things just don't ever recover. Wow, what are those worth? Dang, 50K. Bro, it's just so sad looking at the price of everything in the game. Everything is worthless. I'm assuming you could sit in pond and trade survive revs. The game was just totally different back then. I was thinking about it like, you know, even hot potato books. Like having hot potato books in your armor was a big deal back when you had NPC buy, because players used to just sit there and they would NPC buy those hot potato books, and it actually took a long time, and like that was a big deal. Having a 50 mil Midas and Superior with hot potato books and stuff like that, that was a really big deal. The game has changed so much since then, probably for the better, because you know it was also very simplistic back then, and it's nostalgic looking back on it. However, you would not have wanted the game to remain in that state, because it would not be here today if it stayed that simplistic. If endgame today was just flipping superior armor with hot potato books, then like the game would be dead, right? Hypixel is releasing on January 13th. Gold Soviet, yeah, it should be. They put out a post saying that it will have a creator code program. Though it got sold, it did, and then Simon bought it back. The single player I won't play. Well, it's definitely not always gonna be single player, but for the January 13th release, I wouldn't be surprised. Realistically, it probably would be smart to do alchemy right now so that you get enough overflow XP for when they inevitably add 60 to the game, because it's like 80% more skill XP right now, which is ridiculous. What did I just get? Snake rune. Holy, I'm crazy. Snake rune is my favorite rune in the entire flipping game. Oh, right there. 563,000. Kind of crazy, man. That's sweet. That's so cool for new players. I wish that it like excluded people who have over some number of purse. So like people like me don't even get it. That'd be even awesome. So then the newer players get even more. How do you not have max ghoul bestiary? Because I did Rev Slayer before it was in the game. Therefore, after the bestiary was added to the game, I would have had no reason to have ever been down here. I was Rev 9 by the time Ghoul Bestiary flipping even existed, right? I used to be number 24 on the server for Rev XP. I was top 5 on the server for Archer XP in Dungeons too, because there was only a tiny handful of people on the server that could actually afford that setup. The Boomerang Archer setup was so flipping expensive that there was literally like less than 10 people on the entire game that could afford to have it. It was an entirely different game back then, right? Having that set up is just such a crazy amount of coins. No way. No way. I got a thing. A severed hand. I just bought some of those a minute ago. So someone frozen blaze with bones, one tap sedan. You wanted to? Yeah, try to clean. I vividly remember it because I was like so flipping crazy because like that had been unheard of. Nobody was one tapping sedan. And then that, you know, boomerang meta became a thing. Coolest meta on this entire game ever. Boomerangs. Wait, I haven't got a single cocoon. Wait. That literally doesn't make even one single ounce of sense. Am I stupid? It's disabled for a month now. Oh my God. Why doesn't it say on the item that it's disabled? Why do they do this? Why can't they just fix it rather than like disabling it?